Hello. I am doing my best. When people see my logo, or read my name, or hear me speak Chinese, they ask, "Are you Scottish?" To which I say no. When I try to speak with a Scottish accent, people ask me if I'm Chinese. But I do have enough Scottish heritage in me so that I get a sunburn if I sit too close to my oatmeal. And my logo is a way of personalizing the Tai Chi symbol that depicts the nature of duality and guides the philosophy, tactics, and strategy of most Oriental martial arts, as well as healing systems and Chinese medicine and many other practices. The bright-colored formal tartan represents the yang, or positive principle, and the darker-colored hunting tartan represents the yin, or negative principle. There is a yang dot on the yin side, because hunters have to have some decorum and etiquette, otherwise the deer would not have anything to do with them, and the English would see them coming a mile away. The yang side has a yin dot in it, because even in formal dress, there is always some informality beneath the kilt. Now, about the word Tai Chi Chuan, this concept, Tai Chi, is what the healing exercise / martial art is named after. The full name of the art is Tai Chi Chuan, but it is called Tai Chi for short. Chuan means boxing or fist or martial art. So, Tai Chi Chuan refers to the martial art that is based on the concept represented by this diagram, or this diagram, or this diagram. In English, we call it Tai Chi or Tai Chi Chuan, which makes people confuse it with the word Qi, as in Qigong. Qi can mean breath, vitality, life force, energy, etc. But that is a different character with a very different meaning. It is related to Tai Chi, but in the way that the word oxidization is related to the term internal combustion engine. What we call Tai Chi Chuan was not always called that. Before the 19th century, it was called Chen family boxing, or 13 posture long fist, or simply long fist. But later it became known as cotton boxing, or neutralizing boxing, or transformation boxing. It gradually became known as Tai Chi Chuan during the period from as early as the early 19th century to as late as the early 20th century. Calling it Tai Chi Chuan was a bit of brilliant branding, because it associated the martial art with this profound, ancient, popular philosophical concept, and that association has helped not only the promotion of Tai Chi, but also served as an important teaching tool for students of all levels. Another marketing coup was translating Tai Chi Chuan into English as Supreme Ultimate Boxing. It is technically correct as a transliteration, but in the same way that the expression out of sight, out of mind can be translated as invisible idiot. It is literally correct, but essentially wrong. So a more accurate translation of the word Tai Chi Chuan would be something like yin and yang kung fu. Accurate, that is, but entirely inadequate. It is better to call it Tai Chi Chuan and then learn what the Tai Chi concept is all about. Tai Chi is made of two characters. The first is Tai, which means supreme or grand. The second is Ji, which is, in this context, means pole or extremity or polarity. The concept of Tai Chi is one that deals with the perception of the universe by an observer, of the dualistic nature of the phenomenal universe. The ordinary human experience is to see everything as related to or compared to something else. This and that, up and down, yes and no, hard and soft, hot and cold, yin and yang. This is not a rule, it's an observation. So when we practice Tai Chi, we don't try to make yin and yang happen or force them to be balanced. We observe the nature of yin and yang and let our actions be guided by our awareness so that we can achieve a harmony within ourselves and with our environment. This is important. We can only adapt to the chaos. We cannot balance the universe. We cannot stop the violence from existing. We can only regulate it through improved awareness. I will get into how this works or doesn't work in future episodes, but for now, I will just give some quick notes. Everything can be described as both yin and yang. It doesn't matter if it's a rock or a tree or a man or a woman or an adult or a child. Any of these can be described as both yin and yang, depending on the context and the comparison. All forces in nature can be described as having yin or yang aspects. Because whether a thing can be described as either yin or yang depends entirely upon what it is being compared to, what aspect is being compared to what, and upon the context of the comparison. For example, hot is yang relative to cold, and tall is yang relative to short. But it would be inappropriate to say that hot is yang relative to short. And a hot rock can be a liquid, lava, magma. A cold rock can be hard as a diamond, or soft as sandstone. Which is yin or yang depends on how you look at it. A yang quality can have a yin aspect and vice versa. The tallest tree in the forest is yang because it is tall relative to the shorter trees, and this allows it to dominate the forest. It blocks out the sun, it spreads its roots and seeds all over the place, and prevents other trees from growing. But by standing above the rest, it is vulnerable to wind and lightning, and loggers, and rot, and brittleness, which makes it yin. And this kind of observation can be applied to martial arts. When you learn to see the weakness in your opponent's strength, or to find the strength inherent within your own weaknesses. It is quite normal for people to think of the Tai Chi concept as some kind of rule to adhere to, something that one should follow, something that one should emulate. But it is not really. It's a description of how it is experienced. Science does not tell us how the universe should be. Science does not tell the universe how to be. Science empowers us by observing how the universe works and by teaching us new ways to look at it and to adapt to it. There is so much more to this, and I would love to talk for hours about it, but one thing at a time. I will get back to this more at a later episode. So, till next time, thank you, and I appreciate your support.